Hi, this is Rob Leo. In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at using Google Maps. There's a tool called MyMaps that allows students to create their own custom maps. Imagine using this in social studies, not only to identify geography, but also to put push pins on a map to identify specific historical events. Imagine using it in the elementary classroom to identify habitats. Imagine using it in the ELA classroom, putting push pins on a map to indicate different settings in a novel where students can identify how the plot unfolds during the course of that novel. A lot of different uses, not just for simply giving directions. However, if you are traveling, you can make your own custom map. This is a personal note, and put custom push pins, which if you pull up on your phone will help you get driving directions to those locales while you are traveling. So again, education use, personal use, but a really handy tool, not just simply for giving directions. The tool is called Google's MyMaps, and to get there, we're starting in Google Drive. You could also start directly in Google Maps, but for this exercise, we'll show you both ways, but I think the easier way is just to start with Google Drive. And if you click on the New button, hover your mouse over More, and then in the flyout, move your mouse over to Google My Maps. Alternatively, maps.google.com. This is simply Google Maps. You may have used this to get directions or find a place before, but with the menu, you can click on Your Places, and as you move over, you can get to Maps and create a map. It takes you to the same exact place. Again, I think it's easier just to start in Google Drive. Like any Google products, it starts off with an untitled option. We're just going to put a title here. I'm going to call this, sorry, my phone is hearing me say things about Google. So demo for video is what we're going to call this as a title, and we're going to add a description just by saying description goes here. So you can see where that will appear. There's my title, there's my description. Notice the three dots. You can always copy it, open it, put it in the trash, enable it on a site and so forth. You can even print it if you need to. And later on at the end of this, we'll export it to a KML or KMZ file so we can make our map a custom tour in Google Earth. The two of them will integrate together. You can also share maps. Notice the share button. You can add a collaborator by simply typing in their email address and giving them either edit or viewing rights, or you can change access altogether, allowing anyone with the link to view or edit. Cancel that for now. For this exercise, I'm going to compare two places. We're going to compare the capital of the ancient Roman empires in the west as well as in the east. Imagine doing this in a 9th grade global studies class. To get started, I'm going to type in Rome, Italy. The map should take me there, right down in city center. You're looking at a green push pin that Google makes for you. To add this to your custom My Map, you're going to click the plus sign and say Add to Map. Once you do so, let's just remove the details here. This is from Google Maps in general. Let's remove those details. We're going to use the pencil icon to put our own custom details. And instead of Rome, I'm going to say Ancient Rome. And in my description, I'm going to say Rome was the capital of the ancient Roman Empire. It was said that all roads, I'll use quotes here, lead to Rome. In addition to my custom text, I'd like to add an image to represent the ancient capital of Rome. And to do that, I'm going to click on the camera icon. And notice you can upload pictures from your computer. You can use your webcam. You can use an image URL. If you have your own photos stored in Google Photos, you can use those. If you have photos stored in Google Drive, of course, you can always do a Google image search, YouTube search, or a YouTube URL. So not just images here for the photo icon, but also video content as well. We're going to do a Google image search. I'm going to type in the Roman Colosseum. And we'll grab a picture to represent that. This one looks great. It comes from crystallinks.com. It's giving you the warning message, just FYI, to only select images that you've confirmed have the license to use. Let me cancel that and just show you a real quick pause here. how to get a legitimate image through a URL search instead. I'm going to go to Google Images, and I'm going to change my tools to usage rights that are labeled for reuse. Because if I'm going to publish this to the web, I want to make certain that I'm using appropriate photos. Here's one that's labeled for reuse. I'm going to view the image. Notice it's a JPEG. I'm going to copy that URL. And back on my camera icon in Google Maps, I am going to use the image URL. That way I am positive I have used an appropriate picture. That picture is now part of the custom blurb that I'm creating here, and I'm going to click Save. Let me do another search here. I'm going to look for Istanbul, Turkey. And again, I'm going to add my push pin to the map. I'm going to go through the same exact process. I'm going to remove Google's information. I'm going to edit because in ancient Rome, it wasn't called Istanbul. It's called Constantinople. Emperor Constantine located capital of the Roman Empire to Byzantium. And I think it was 333 Common Era. And the city's name changed in his honor to Constantinople. Fix our typo here. And again, I'm going to use a custom photo for this. Let's do the same thing. Constantinople, let's do the Hagia Sophia Church. Again, we're going to go to our tools. Whoops, we got to go to Google Images first. And now with our tools, we're going to go to our usage rights label for reuse. And here's a nice mosaic. Looks good. We will view the image. We'll grab the URL of that. And with our image URL, we'll paste that in. I'm curious to see, so bear with me here. I'm curious to see if I can also add more. Notice there's a plus sign here. There's a kind of a fun song from the band They Might Be Giants. Istanbul, not Constantinople. We'll select that and add that as well. So notice I can add two things to my blurb. I'm going to save that. Notice my menu is building with both push pins here. It's automatically saved, and at this point, I think I'm satisfied. Of course, you can continue to build as you go, but the next step I'm going to take, and I'll do this in another video, is to show you how to export this and put it in Google Earth so you can kind of take a virtual tour. But again, notice when I click on these push pins, my custom blurb shows up with all the content that I've demonstrated. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back in a flash.